It looks like it's working this time. Take number 2. Live video is starting. We're so close and we're live. Yay. Hi, everybody. Let's see here. Let me get situated. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I had to restart my internet, and then, of course, it still didn't want to work. Okay. So let me see if I can pull this up so I can see if anyone is on. If you are here, say hi. I see a couple eyeballs. So say hi so we can see if comments will come through. Facebook has multiple personalities. All right, here we go. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Marianne. Hi, G. Hi, Susanna. Yay, cool. Okay, so I'm on my hotspot because my regular internet wasn't working, so hopefully it holds up. Hi, Danelle. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Esty from Vancouver. Awesome. Okay, let's jump right in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the ManiGen training. So this is part of our Human Design 101 series. So far we have dived into we have explored the projector and the peer generator. And now it's time for the ManiGen. So if you are here live, say hi so I can see who's here. It looks like it's a little bit delayed on my end, but it looks like I'm seeing comments. Stephanie, hello. So I think we should be good. I will ask you guys as we go if stuff is landing for you, if it's making sense and all of that good stuff. So I love being able to see the comments. Hi, Iris. Awesome. So if you are live, say hi so I can see who's here. If you're watching the replay, leave me a hashtag replay. I love when people go through the replay and comment on the different parts of the training that we're talking about, because I want to see after the fact if it resonates with you, if it lands with you, if you feel like you're seen. That's what I'm here to do as a projector, is make everybody feel seen. So it really, really, really lights my soul on fire when I hear that you do feel seen. So I love that. Let's see what y'all are saying. Julia Anna, hello. Stephanie is a ManiGen. Mary Ann said her eldest is a ManiGen. Every center defined. I bet. My very first human design reading I ever did was with someone who had every single center defined. Hi, Gemma. Yay. Hi, Senja. Perfect. Okay. So most importantly, whether you're live here or you're watching the replay, tell me if you're a ManiGen. I want to know. I want to know who in this group is a ManiGen, because you guys are very, very special, and we're going to dive into why and all of that good stuff today. Just a little caveat here. I'm going to try to keep this under an hour. I'm going to do my best, but we'll see how that goes. But if you have not already, if you're a manifesting generator and you haven't already watched the pure generator training, I highly recommend that you do that, because we dove into the sacral and the aura and stuff like that. So there is relevant info in that. Now I'm just going to add some nuanced stuff onto this for the ManiGens, because you are a breed of your own. Davina, hello. Jennifer, hi. Okay, cool. So just watch that as an extra layer of insight if you haven't watched it already. And I also wanted to thank you all so much for patiently waiting for your special class. I know it's been a long time coming, and I'm super, super excited to deliver this to you. ManiGens are one of my favorite topics, because just like all the types, I think you get a little bit pigeonholed, a little bit stereotyped, and there's a lot more to you than meets the eye. So I'm excited to have that discussion today. But before we dive into all the ManiGen juiciness, there is a new free masterclass that's coming in July. So in about 3 weeks from today, or I guess 3 weeks from yesterday, it's called Magic Fest. It's going to be so fun. If you haven't registered already, go ahead and do that to save your spot. It's free. It's going to be a multiple day masterclass, but day 1 kicks off on July 17th, which I think is a Wednesday. All of the info is on the page, and it will, once you register, you'll get the full calendar and all of that good stuff. But this is going to be a really, really, really fun masterclass. It's going to be different than anything I've done before. It's about awakening your most powerful, your most magical identity as an entrepreneur. So we're not going to talk about business strategy stuff. We're not going to talk about like branding stuff. We're going to talk about identity stuff and working with my 4 favorite archetypes. So this is different than brand archetypes. This is about like our identity and our purpose and us seeing ourselves as capable and magical business owners. So we're going to be talking about the enchantress, the mermaid, the queen, and the goddess in terms of you running your business, right? Being this really, really capable, really powerful, really magical business owner. So, Magic Fest is going to be really fun. I highly recommend coming to it or making time to watch the replays. But I will also have a super special human design report that dives into those 4 archetypes from the lens of you as a business owner, not your business, but you. And that will only be given to the people that come to the class live or catch the replay. There will be a secret passcode or something like that within it. So make sure that you put it on your calendar and make time for it because it's going to be awesome. Um, no. So Stephanie said that's indicated by your rising sign. That's for the brand archetype. That's with brand strategy. This is entirely different. It is about your identity as an entrepreneur, and it's not going to be based on the rising sign. So it's not going to be like you're the enchantress, you're the mermaid. It's going to be about us being able to awaken all 4 of those archetypes and understand what their gifts are, what their superpowers are, and how we can use them to do certain things in our business as a business owner. So this is all about like you as a person, you pursuing your business, right, as this career, as your life's purpose, as your life's work. It's going to be really fun. Yay. Awesome. Okay. And if anyone has any questions about Magic Fest, let me know. But it's free. It's going to be great. Yeah, I have some stories to share with y'all that I haven't shared yet, just about plateaus and funks and all of that stuff. And these archetypes, these 4 are truly, I know I say the word magic a lot, but like they're really, really, really powerful, really magical. But anywho, I don't want to get too into that because that's not what this is about. This is about y'all. It's about the Manny Gens today. All right. Manifesting generators. So I do have a question for you because I want to make sure that the context is there for this training. Do you guys know the manic pixie dream girl trope? The manic pixie dream girl stereotype that we see in movies all the time? Like the beautiful girl, but she doesn't have much depth to her, yet she's really fun, right? She always shows up and like leads the main character, the guy, most of the time to like this new perspective on life. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, Stephanie, I love that. Stephanie said magic is real, so keep sharing the magic. Iris said no. Let me know, the rest of you, if you understand what that means. Magic, pixie, dream girl. No. Okay, not me. Oh, cool. Okay. So Google that for sure because you'll get some examples. But basically, the Magic Pixie Dream Girl is a very flat surface level trope that we see in a lot of like romance new movies, a lot of like teen movies, a lot of comedy movies and stuff like that, where it's this beautiful girl and she's super fun loving, super free spirited, super spontaneous, but she's very surface level. So if you Google it, you'll probably see some examples from movies that you recognize. But basically, the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, I think, is how the current online business landscape has painted the picture of Manny Gens. So I will expand on that, what I mean. But G said yes, she knows what that trope is. So just Google it. After this training just to get more insight and to get some examples of who the Manic Pixie Dream Girl is. But basically, really beautiful, really fun, really glowy, really spontaneous, really free spirited character who's always the same. And she's presented very surface level, and there's a lot of depth that's missing to her. But I do think that the way that she's portrayed doesn't do her justice. And I think it's a great analogy to use as how the manifesting generator is represented in the online space. Oh, thank you, Christine. She put the link there. Okay, yeah, so y'all dive into that and just get some context if you need it. But basically, it's a stereotype, right? Like trope, if you haven't heard that word before, is just a stereotype. It's a character that we all see all the time. So it's not as expansive as an archetype. An archetype is like human coding. A stereotype, right, is just this flat, like paper doll version of the same character that we see over and over and over. But that's important to keep in mind for this training. That is where the name Magic Pixie Manny-Gen came from. So again, just for a little bit more context as we dive into this, the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, she is presented as bubbly, fun-loving, spontaneous, glowing, like she's often very beautiful. She has this childlike joy, and she's also able to usually crack the main character open and pull him out of his shell. Normally it's a guy, and that's a whole nother conversation, but she's normally able to crack him open with this spontaneous spirit, right? With this childlike joy that she has, and pull him out of his shell so that he can finally experience this new perspective on life. That is this character's role. And so, like I mentioned, this is exactly how I feel that the Manny-Gen is currently represented in the online spiritual business world. This, just to be clear, this is not what I think the Manny-Gen actually is. This is how I think that she's portrayed and how the system basically is set up to represent her and to support her, and it's not doing you justice. So if you've watched the projector training and you watched the generator training so far, I basically talked about the misrepresentation of those two types, and this is the same story. So how I feel the Manny-Gen is being misrepresented in the online space, and how it's not supporting your actual energy. So I want you to be able to walk away really understanding what it means to be a Manny-Gen and what you actually need to be supported, leaving all of those stereotypes and all of those ideas that you lack depth behind. Let me see what you're saying. Okay, cool. So I'm a projector. I love, love, love manifesting generators. My favorite clients, the ones I work the best with, are manifesting generators. Projectors and Manny-Gens work really, really well together. But in general, when you're in the presence of a Manny-Gen, and I'm saying this from someone who's not a Manny-Gen who experiences your energy, when we're in your presence, we love your free spirit. We love your spontaneity. We love your playful demeanor. We love your knack for bringing joy to all situations. Yet you're often pegged as, and I don't mean you specifically, but Manny-Gens in general, right? This energy type is often pegged as flighty and unreliable, or even manic sometimes, right? So let me know in the comments if you felt guilty, or if you felt wrong, or if you felt insecure about this part of yourself, right? This big energy that you have, this really excitable energy that you have, this fast moving, quick changing energy that you have. Let me know if you felt guilty about that or wrong about that. This is the Manny-Gen Live. Thank you, Michelle. Stephanie said yes. So yeah, like if words, I've been called a spaz. Oh, that is such a good word for the misunderstanding of the Manny-Gen. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so if you feel like people are seeing you as a spaz, seeing you as a flake, seeing you as just like unserious, right? Kind of like almost a joke. If you feel like that's how you come across, or you feel misunderstood in that way, let me know if that lands for you. More insecure. Yeah, insecure is a good one too. Not always wanting to stay true to ongoing marketing plans that go on and on forever without results. Too much gets said a lot. I love that as well. Those are really good. Too much. Yep. And spaz. So if you've ever felt guilty about that, or wrong about that, or insecure, you're not wrong. Not at all. Not at all. But I'm glad that this is landing with you, because it's a big part of the training today. So in her highest expression, the manifesting generator, right, in her highest expression, is what I like to think of as a human portal. So she is a doorway to actual magic. I really do see the Manny-Gen as this magic pixie. That is what I see, like the essence of a Manny-Gen as. When I look at Manny-Gens, they are these magical pixies running around. So we're going to reframe the manifesting generator from that manic pixie Manny-Gen vibe, right? The one that's too much, the one that's a spaz, the one that's flaky, the one that's unreliable. We're going to reframe that so you really can understand that your energy is magic. You are the magic Pixie Manny-Gen, so that you can show up fully in your Manny-Gen energy audaciously and unapologetically, because you understand what you're here to do as a manifesting generator, and how you're here to do it in a way that really honors your energy as a manifesting generator. Let me see what y'all are saying. Overachiever. Yeah, that's a good one too. Go find less. Yeah, I love that response to that, Stephanie. Go find less. Do you know who Elise, I don't remember her last name, Myers maybe? But she's like has a funny Instagram account and she has a whole thing about that. Danelle said, I've been called bubbly and flaky. Haha, sometimes it's true and other times annoying because I know I'm smart. Yeah, very, very smart. Wondering how two Manny gens are truly compatible. A lot of energy there, a lot of quick moving. Sometimes people actually are surprised that I'm not shallow. Yep, that's the impression that they first get. Yep, yep, yeah, you guys are not shallow at all. Some of the deepest people ever. So it's so funny. I have managing clients who I will literally watch create magic before my eyes, right? Like I'll wake up, it'll be like 8 in the morning. I'll have messages on my phone in my Voxer with private clients or clients that are in deeper containers with me, and I'll see stuff from managements that are like, keep in mind this is 8 in the morning. They'll be like, I already wrote my sales page and I recorded 3 podcast episodes and I learned a new language and I volunteered at the animal shelter today. And I'll be like, what? Like, I haven't even brushed my teeth yet. What are you talking about? So when a Manny-Gen is on, right, when her energy is on, when it's aligned, when she is lit up, she is unstoppable. So like I said, the Manny-Gen, when she's in her full expression, when she has fully accepted herself and she knows how to work with her energy, she is a human portal. She is a portal to magic. She is a portal to expansion. She is a portal to this new dimension where something exists that literally did not exist before. It's this, watching it from the outside, it's like poof, something new is here. Like all of a sudden, the Manny-Gen has created something new that didn't exist before. So, as a manifesting generator, you're designed to create things and to do things and to go places that no one has ever done before. And this is invaluable, yet it so often gets squashed out of you because of common conditioning. And we're going to specifically be talking about the online business landscape, but I'm sure you're going to find relevance for other parts of your life as well. So you are literal pixies. I'm rereading the Harry Potter series, and in the second book, in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class, the teacher brings in this cage of pixies, and he opens the door, and they just wreak havoc everywhere. They have so much energy; they're just like all over the place. They cannot be contained. And while that's maybe a low expression example, you are literal pixies with so much magic, so much energy, and so much power and impact that you are here to bring to the world. And you as a brand are here to really help others discover new perspectives and rejuvenate their zest for life. So you are here to have fun, but you're also here to create a huge impact on other people. Yep, learned a new language by 8 a.m. I'm like, yep, makes sense. That checks, that tracks. I've been called a pixie or fairy, but it's so not really fitting for the wide range of energy I access that is massive and deep. Yeah. Okay, so let me know if that saying it like that, like your magic feels like it's being squashed, like you feel like your light's being dimmed, or you feel like if you do let your light out, you do let your magic out, you do let your full range out into the world, that things would go awry, that it would be too much for you to hold, too much for others to hold. Let me know if you feel like there's part of you that has not been unleashed. I don't really like to use the word unleashed because I think it's used too much on the internet, but like truly, if you feel like there's part of you that hasn't been unleashed yet, let me know. And the reason for that, like the simple way to say it, it's because of conditioning. Pixie fairy energy has resonated with me forever. I have to dim myself to make others comfortable. Yep. Yeah. That seems to be like the story of the Manny-Gen for sure. Okay, so for all of you who said that you feel guilty or you feel wrong because you've been made to feel flaky or uncommitted, right, or unserious or surface level, it's not you. It's them. Like for real, it is not you. You are not doing anything wrong. You were not made wrong. You weren't designed wrong. There is nothing wrong about you. It is them. It is them as like, the them. It's conditioning. It is these systems and these structures that we have been put into place. It's these ways of doing things that people just randomly decided was the correct way to do things. So you have done nothing wrong and you are doing nothing wrong. And the only thing that you're doing wrong, and I'm saying that word very loosely, is not letting your full energy out. But the reason why you're not is because of conditioning, right? You haven't been set up to believe that it's safe to do that, or that it's possible to do that, or that the systems and structures in place can even handle all of that energy. And by energy, I don't, yeah, Lockhart. Yep, Danelle. And by energy, I don't necessarily mean physical energy, although that does play a part in it. I mean more of like your essence and your soul energy. Iris said, yes, I hold back to not be judged. Absolutely. I don't mind being too much, it just is. Thankfully, not called flaky. Davina, you're always in the high expression for sure. Of the healer, of the Manny Gen. You're such a good example for us. Okay, so there is so much conditioning, specifically, like in particular, in the online business space that is dimming your magic, pixie, Manny Gen magic. I find it so interesting that that manic pixie dream girl stereotype that we were talking about is also portrayed this way, right? When you look her up, when you look at that link that was shared, or if you ask ChatGPT, or if you just go on Google at all, you're always going to see her character described as like this surface level, beautiful, kind of like shiny object, but she's going to be portrayed as lacking depth, right? As flaky, as unreliable, and as struggling to actually bring her personal ambitions to life. So, sound familiar? So, in your business, or even just like with the planning phases of your business, if you haven't launched a business yet, but when people say things like niche down, you probably feel something in you, like every part of you pushes against that, right? Or if people say just stick with it, right? Just don't give up. It feels like you're in a cage. Or if people say don't have too many offers, right? It will confuse people. It will confuse people if you have too many offers about too many things. It might feel like your soul dies a little bit every time you hear that. So the traditional online business model really is not made to support Manigens and their aura, their magic, their essence. So when you try to get really specific about your niche, or when you try to have year-long offers, right, year-long containers with clients, or you have offers that you force yourself to follow through with, even though they've lost their sparkle midway through. Or when you try to have just one signature offer and talk about just one topic, you are turning your magic off. It is like your magic is a light switch. And when you do that kind of stuff, when you listen to other people, you are turning that light switch to off. You are turning your magic off. So, what I really want to do with y'all today is talk about how you can turn your magic on. So, looking at that light switch of your magic and flipping the switch to on, and still also setting yourself up to have a successful and a real brand, right? Like, so you can pull in the clients that you want to, you can make the sales that you want to, you can share the message that you want to, you can have all of the success that you're dreaming of, but you can do it in a way where your magic is switched to on and it feels really good for you and really aligned for you and really true to you because you're not dimming any part of yourself. Danelle said, I sometimes feel like it would be too much for me to manage. Safer to stay small and surface. Niching was a big turnoff for me. Traditional niching. Yeah. Traditional niching, and that's hard to say. After niching is one of those words where you say it too much, you're like, is that even a word? Like fork. Fork is another one. You say it over and over. You're like, that doesn't even sound like a word anymore. But anyways, like traditional niching, right? Where you pick a topic to talk about, that is the kiss of death for a Manny Gen. I do have a niche class that presents niching in a different way. So if you're interested in that, let me know and I can send the link to you. But like picking one topic. So let's say fitness, that is the kiss of death for a Manny Gen brand. And we're going to talk about how you can actually have a successful business while not zooming in on one topic in just a little bit. But before we get too deep into all of that, I want to talk about just a little bit with human design context. So I want to define what creates a manifesting generator versus a pure generator. So like I mentioned, we did a training for the pure generator a couple weeks ago or a month ago or however long ago. But you as a Manny Gen and a pure generator, you both have a defined sacral center. So that, if you're looking at the human design chart, that is that shape, the second from the bottom. So that is colored in on your chart. So if it's colored in on a chart, that means that person is automatically a generator or a manifesting generator. So you and pure generators, you have the same enveloping, welcoming aura. So what that means is your aura is just your energy field basically. And the way it functions, the way it feels, the way it interacts with the outside world is dependent on your human design type. But generator types, so pure generators and manifesting generators, they're both considered generators. It gets a little bit confusing, but that's about 70% of the population. So the majority of people do have that defined sacral center. But the Manny Gen, which is y'all, you're about 33% of the population. So the thing that sets you apart from the pure generator is that you have a motor to throat connection. So that might be a little bit jargony. If it feels confusing, just stick with me for a second. I'll tell you what you actually need to know about that. But if you do know what human design is, the motor centers on the human design chart are the sacral, the root, the heart, and the solar plexus. So that means that you have one of those defined, and we know for sure you have the sacral defined because you're a Manny Gen. But that motor center is connected to your throat center on your human design chart. So, in regular speak, what you need to know about this just for your life and for you and how your energy operates and how it feels for you is that you have that consistent, reliable energy that the generator has, but you also get these extra bursts of energy because of that motor to throat connection. So it's basically like your throat has this motor on it, like a propeller. My favorite analogy to really understand how the manifesting generator energy works is if you think about an old school cartoon, like Wile E. Coyote, right? The coyote that's always chasing the roadrunner, like that kind of Looney Tune-esque cartoon type. So think about like one of the characters who's driving in a little car, right? The car is already moving, it's going, it's consistent, but there's that big bright red button right in the middle console of that car. And the character hits it, and maybe it even says like do not push, but as soon as they hit it, the jetpack at the back of the car turns on, there's all of these flames, and then the car jets off like 20 times faster than it was already going. That is that manifesting generator energy, and the reason that happens is because of that motor to throat connection. So you are already steadily going, and then you'll get this extra big urge, and you might continue to go forward in the direction that you were already going, or you might turn and go a different way really, really quickly. And so ways that that can show up is really, really loving a project that you're working on, right? Being steady at it, being consistent at it, and then all of a sudden you hate it and you do something else because you get another urge, you get another burst, you get a different idea that propels you into a different direction. Or maybe you're doing something in your business and then all of a sudden you have this idea and you quantum leap to the next level. So you have these big up levels, these big changes, these big pivots that come on very unpredictably, but they come on really, really forcefully. So I had never thought of this analogy before until I was writing this training, and then I was like, oh, I love this analogy. So you can think of these big bursts that you get, these big extra bursts of energy, like a wave. So if you're standing in the ocean and this huge wave is coming, if you try to just stand there and withstand it, you're going to get knocked down, right? The force of it is so big and so strong that it's just going to knock you down. You're going to be pulled underwater. It's going to be a whole S show. But if you know that the wave is coming and you're prepared for it and you're ready, you can have your surfboard, right? And when that wave comes, you can ride it. You can have fun with it. You can have an adventure with it. So think about you as a manifesting generator with an online business or aspiring to have an online business. Think of these bursts of energies that you are designed to have and to experience. You are not here to fight them. You're here to ride them. You're here to use them to move forward and to have a blast in your business. So the next question then is, well, how do we set up your business so that it supports that and that it's basically designed to expand and to evolve and to move forward with those waves that come from your energy? So let me know if that, oh, Lorene, thank you. Let me know if that analogy with the wave, right, and trying to like withstand it and not get knocked down versus being prepared to ride it, let me know if that resonates with you. If that's like, oh, my energy does feel like that. Yeah, I could see that really being like a good strategy. And we're going to continue to talk about how to turn your magic switch from off to on. Davina said yes. Perfect. If anyone doesn't resonate with that, let me know. These trainings are always really helpful for me as well to understand more how it feels for you, right? I'm a projector. There's some things that I could understand theoretically all day long, but the only way that I really truly develop a deeper understanding is by hearing how it actually feels for you and actually lands for you. So if I ever say any analogies or anything where you're like, actually, no, that doesn't really work, let me know because it's always helpful for me. Maria said yes. Stephanie said big time. Susanna said yes. Cool. Okay, perfect. Julia Anna said yes. Great. Glad to hear that. Okay, so remember, we're looking at your magic switch and we're talking about how to turn it from off to on. So there's two layers to this, two layers to turning your magic switch on. At first I said step, and then I was like, it's not really a step, it's more of like a layer to this. So layer number one is your gut response. That is just your sacral response. So regardless if you're sacral authority or if you're emotional authority, you're going to have a gut response as a manifesting generator because you have that sacral center defined. So again, this is something that I do not have, and I only know of it through studying it and through asking people. And I always, always, always love to hear experiences. So feel free to share with me how your gut response feels for you. But it's going to be some kind of feeling, like a physical feeling, a bodily sensation that you get deep in your belly, like womb area. I've had clients say it feels like they have to pee. I've had clients say it feels like if it's a yes for them, it feels like their lower belly is opening. I have had clients say it feels like a magnet in their lower belly that's pulling them towards something if it's a yes. I have heard people say that it feels like their body is closing off if it's a no for them. I've heard people say it feels like an electric shock through their body. I've had clients say that they can feel it more like higher in their torso than in their lower belly too, and that absolutely works as well. But let me know if you are familiar. Riding a magical wave to Atlantis. Yes. Let me know if you're familiar with your own gut response. What does it feel like for you? Where do you experience it and how would you describe it? Autumn said, I'm always changing my mind and have so many new ideas with crafting my business. So this resonates. Thank you. Yes, as a manifesting generator, you are literally designed to change your mind all the time. And we're going to talk about that in just a second, like why and how to, I don't even want to say manage it because that's not the right word, how to honor that. How to honor those new ideas, changing your mind, not following through with things, and reframe that so that you can understand why that's happening and what it's for. Susanna said, for me, it's usually the negative feeling I feel in my belly. Oh, I like that. That's interesting. Also, too, if you don't feel a gut response with something, like you just feel nothing, right? It's just like a flat line, there's no sensation. That often means that your sacral needs more information or it just doesn't really care. But usually more details help make a decision as well. It kind of syncs with my clair senses. I'll know. Oh, I love that. That's really cool. Do you feel, Stephanie, do you get a physical sensation too? Like a body sensation? Okay, so your gut response, right? That sacral response, that feeling deep in your belly, or look at what other people are sharing as well about how they experience, and you might resonate with that and be able to identify it. But your sacral response is the thing to listen to, right? Pay attention to feel for Manny Gens, right? But you, as a manifesting generator, you won't truly have clarity around what is right for you or what's not right for you until you are actually taking action, till you're actually doing something, right? Till you actually have a toe in the water. And just for extra context, in case anyone is brand new to human design here, the reason we even care about this sacral thing that I'm talking about is because that is how you are designed to know if a choice is correct for you, if a decision is right for you. We as humans are just raised to make decisions with our brain, right? With our mind. And actually, human design teaches us that there is a much better way for us to make decisions in our lives, and that is according to our human design authority. So if that feels too jargony, you can just replace that word authority with intuition. Same tomato, tomato, same thing. But that's why we care, is because when you learn how to listen, so for you as a manifesting generator, and there is a little bit of nuance here if you're emotional authority, but your sacral still plays a huge role in it. When you learn how to listen to that sacral, or you learn how to listen to your sacral plus your emotional wave, you can trust that you are living your most aligned life. Basically, you can go to sleep at night knowing that you are currently and actively working towards, walking towards fulfilling your potential in this lifetime. So that is why we care about it, because we all have so much potential within us, so much that we can become, right, for ourselves, but also for the world. And when we listen to our human design authority, we can know, oh, okay, this decision, like I can feel my authority. It's saying, yes, this is the right choice for me. Or, I wanted to do this. My brain told me this was a good idea, but my authority is saying no. Okay, so now as much as this sucks. Like, I can't do it. I don't want to say yes to this because it's not aligned. So when you live your life like that, when you live your business like that, you can fully trust and have faith that you are doing it correctly. Because how many times have we all just been wrought with like panic and indecision because we don't want to make the wrong decision? Well, the Human Design Authority solves all of that. So just a little bit of extra context there for anyone that's new to all of this. Maria said, I'm still trying to figure out what it feels like for me. And if you're still figuring it out, ooh, Stephanie, that's good. She said, when it's a no, I get nauseous. I love that. So clear, right? You can't deny. So Maria, when you're practicing this, you can test it with like kind of insignificant things, right? Like, do you want a donut or do you want ice cream? Do you want a smoothie or do you want a salad? Like playing with things like that. Do you want to wear this purple shirt or do you want to wear this red shirt? And see if you can notice a gut response. So you can prompt it like that. Or if you're, maybe someone comes to you with a question or something like that and you just feel like yourself, like it feels like a physical hell no, like that's your sacral. So starting to pay attention to that, but also prompting it is really helpful. Janelle said, would love to have more control of turning the wave on, like the bursts of energy for Manny Gens. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if it's supposed to be. I could be wrong though. I would love to hear anyone's experience with that, if you can control when those bursts of energy come or not. Stephanie said, yes, emotional authority here. Julia Anna said, same, and I can get that nausea discussed briefly as well. Oh, I love that. I love that. Probably doesn't feel good at the time, but I love that your body and your human design is so like obvious about it, right? That's such a blessing. Okay, so your sacral, right? That gut response, it's not going to fully speak to you and direct you until you're in action. So this is a large part of how you differ from a pure generator. A pure generator who doesn't have that motor to throat connection is going to get that sacral response most of the time before they're doing something. So they get told by their authority, like, yes, like launch this offer. So they got a yes. So then they follow through and they launch the offer. For you, you're not going to know if the offer is correct for you until you're actually like launching it, until you're actually in the midst of it. So let's use our usual food analogy. The past like 3 or 4 trainings I've done, I've used food analogies, and I don't know why, but maybe because we all eat and so we can all understand it. But let's use a food analogy to really paint the picture of how this works, so that you can understand how your design is meant to be honored. So let's say that you and your best friend, who is a pure generator, so you, the Manny Gen, and your best friend, who is a pure generator, you go to a sushi buffet for dinner. And if you don't like sushi, replace that with some food that you love. Maybe it's a pizza buffet. Maybe it is an ice cream buffet. Who knows? Just replace it with your favorite food if you don't like sushi. So your best friend is that pure generator. And that means that her sacral is defined just like yours, but she doesn't have that motor to throat connection. So her energy is steady and consistent, but she doesn't get those big bursts like you do, okay? So you're both at this buffet. You get there, you're so hungry. Both of you are starving. You're really, really hungry. So you start to go through the buffet. It's like a 5-star buffet, right? It's really clean. If you have like any kind of weirdness about buffets, this is a very special one. It's super clean. There's no yucky people here that sneeze around the food. Like it's perfect. It's a Michelin star buffet, let's say, okay? Just so for this visualization, there's nothing getting in the way. So your best friend, she has already listened to my generator training from a couple weeks ago, and she now knows that she needs to make sure that she fills her plate with peaches, because that is what she truly wants and that she believes she can have, okay? So you have to watch that training to get that. But she knows exactly what she's hungry for, what she's starving for, and she fills her plate with that before she even gets in line. She knew when you guys were in the car driving there. You, on the other hand, you fill your plate with all of it. California rolls, sashimi, these little tiny creepy octopus things, edamame, you get some plain sticky rice on your plate, you get some spicy tuna rolls, and maybe you even get some beef skewers on there. So y'all sit down at your table and you start to eat, right? And so your generator best friend, she, like I said, already knew what she was getting before you guys even got in the car, right? So she starts to eat. She starts eating methodically and steadily, working her way through her entire plate. She made her decision beforehand because she decided that is what she wanted, and it's here. She has created it. She has manifested it. You, on the other hand, though, your plate is this poo poo platter of all different selections, right? So you start to take little bites from each of the things that you chose. So it ends up, oh, you hate the Cali roll because you realize it's actually crab with a K, right? Like it's gross, turns your stomach, no thank you. You try those little octopus things and, worst mouth feels you have ever experienced. You can feel their tentacles. You literally have to spit it out into your napkin. The sashimi you actually love. It was so fresh. It was so good. It was like tuna sashimi. It was like ruby red. It was so good. And you get up halfway through your meal to go pile more onto your plate, right? The edamame is fine. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing to write home about, but you eat it. It's fine. It's whatever. It's not horrible, right? Point is, you don't know what you love or what you hate until you try it. Your clarity, so that gut response, right, that sacral response comes from action, comes from filling your plate with all of the different things that could possibly be good, but you don't make that actual decision with your gut. And this isn't a mind thing, right? This is like this physical response. That decision, that response doesn't come until you as a manager are in action. Davina said, yep, I will look at and taste everything. Maria said, that makes so much sense. I do this. Stephanie said, accurate. Iris said, so true, my way of doing it. Perfect. I'm glad that that resonates. I love that analogy for this. Like it explains it so well. So you really are here to try it all, right? Have you ever heard the term F around and find out? I don't really cuss and I don't want to in case there are kids or anything listening, but replace that with a bad word, right? F around and find out. You as a Manny Gen, that is what you're here to do. You're here to try it and then truly decide if that's the thing for you. So basically, your sacral is designed to function in almost like this two-level approach, right? So the first thing it does is it will give you that gut response on what you want to try. So, right, like going through that buffet, you'll be like, oh, California roll, maybe I'll try that. Sashimi, maybe I'll try that. Maybe you see like some chicken and you're like, last time like I got the chicken and it was horrible. Like I'm gonna pass on that. So it's guiding you. It's giving you this gut response as you're deciding what to try, but then it actually gives you like this next level, like this deeper level response as you're trying the things, if that makes sense. So for example, with your business, maybe you're like, I don't know if I want to launch a membership or if I want to do like a high-end one-to-one package. So you're going to be like, you know what, actually a high-end one-to-one feels really good to me. I don't know about a membership right now. My schedule's kind of crazy. Like I can feel it in my gut, like the one-to-one feels interesting. But then maybe you show up, you start to launch it, you start to talk about it. Maybe you do a master class to get people into a room so you can then tell them about the one-to-one. But then you do the one-to-one and you realize, you know what, like I actually don't like having a set schedule where I have to get on the call with my client every Monday at 9. Like I really want to have more freedom and blah blah blah. You don't know until you actually try it. So let me know if that resonates with you. Oh my goodness, my hubby is a generator, and this is us at any restaurant. I love that. So let me know if that, like looking at it through the lens of your business, right? Kind of being guided, having that somewhat clarity to make the decision of what to try, but then having ultimate clarity. This resonates so hard. Good. And then just to add more nuance here, if you are an emotional authority manifesting generator, that means that you basically just have an extra step to your decision making process. So you're still going to get that gut response. It is everything. It's so important to listen to that. But then you like ride out that wave, that emotional wave to make your final decision. So with the analogy with the buffet, it doesn't really make sense with the emotional authority, right? You're not going to ride out your emotional wave to like decide on what you're going to finish on your plate. But this is for more, like this is for bigger decisions, right? What you're offering, what you're launching, what you're naming your business. Maybe someone offered you opportunity to collaborate and it's a really big decision because they're a really big brand and you would be really visible for this specific thing, blah blah blah, right? Decisions that are big and that are going to affect the trajectory of your business or your life. If you are emotional authority, that's when you're here to really ride out that emotional wave and then wait until you feel a physical feeling of clarity in your body before you make that final decision. Davina said, I'm doing something now that I said 3 months ago I didn't want to do and had no interest in. Yep. Never say never. Susanna's emotional authority. Stephanie said this. Davina said, and I'm loving it. Good. I love that. I love that. Okay, cool. So now let's talk about how to design your business in a way that supports your manifesting generator bursts of energy. Because as far as I know, and I could be wrong for sure, but as far as I know, that energy is unpredictable and it's uncontrollable. Like you might be able to maybe summon it, but like we were talking about with the wave, you can't run from it. You can't get away from it. You can't just ignore it. Like if you try to ignore it, it's going to knock you down. So it's smart to write it, right? That's when the fun comes. That's when the adventure comes. That is how you are designed to create magic, right? To be this magical pixie. So, all of the talk that people, it's getting better now. I will be fair about this, but all of that talk that's online about like don't have too many offers, don't have too many topics, it's going to confuse people. I think that is so stupid. I think that is so stupid when people tell you, like, you can't have too many offers. You can't be a brand that talks about too many things because it's going to confuse people. I think that is so, so stupid because people are smart, right? Like, humans are smart. The humans, especially that you're going to attract into your business, are smart. They can figure out that you yourself are a human that has multiple interests in multiple things, just like they are a human that has multiple interests in multiple things, right? So I think that that argument is just null and void from the beginning. Like people are going to get confused if you talk about money and you talk about marriage and you talk about babies. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think it is relevant. So if there's any mind chatter in your brain right now, and the reason I'm even saying this is because as a management, chances are you have a broad variety of interests, and especially in your business, right? It might feel too confined, it might feel too constricting to limit yourself to one topic. Chances are there's lots of different topics that you're really good at. Manifesting generators are by nature like a jack of all trades. There's lots of things that you're interested, there's lots of things that you are good at, and you should honor that. So if there's any of that mind chatter, oh, but blah, blah, blah said I can't talk about too many topics because people will get confused. Let's just throw that out the window. Let's just mark that off because I don't think that's relevant. I don't think it's true. I think it's silly. Um, People are multifaceted, right? They understand that someone that's interested in creating wealth is also interested in creating a really healthy marriage. They understand that someone that's interested in pursuing their career or starting a business is also interested in being in their peak health, right? Feeling alive during their day and pursuing wellness. So, you as a manifesting generator, you're basically here to just serve humans and the different topics and the different obstacles and the different things that they experience in their life, right? So, thinking about it in a way where you are here to help clients, you're here to help your audience reach goals and create desires that fall into multiple categories of their life, right? So, like I was just saying, someone that's desiring to create real wealth in her life is also likely desiring to have a movie worthy romance, right? As well as a body that she feels alive in and that she feels sexy in, as well as a career that she feels purposeful in, right? As well as a relationship with her kids that makes her feel proud and present. So, most mani-gens that I see out there who have online businesses and online brands, the ones that I see that are really loving their life and loving their business and creating true magic are the ones that are selling lots of different offers based on lots of different parts of life: love, money, success, wellness, career, business, right? General quality of life stuff like joy, happiness, like that kind of thing. So let me know. Let me check the comments. Danelle said this aligns with my third line too. Gotta try it too to see. Yeah, absolutely. If you're a Manny Gen with the third line, it's extra, extra relevant for you. Lita said, yeah, so good to have this confirmation. When I was little, I would stand in front of the ice cream in a store, not sure what I wanted, and my grandmother really criticized me and told me I was indecisive. Yeah, so like, I love that example. You need to literally ask for those samples and have like 5 of them before you make your decision. And then with a generator, a pure generator, I've used this example before. My 6-year-old, she is a pure generator, and she gets really overwhelmed with all of the different ice cream flavors. So I literally have to be like, do you want like rich and chocolatey, or do you want light and fruity, right? I have to give her A or B choice for her sacral to decide. But when she decides, that's it. She's not longing. She doesn't have buyer's remorse, unlike a manifesting generator who would probably be like licking their sherbet, eyeing the chocolate, wondering what that one tasted like. Maybe they should have tried that one too. Danelle said it's freeing to know that it's how I'm designed. Oh, sorry. The way that my window is right now, it's only showing me 4 comments at a time. So sorry if I've missed anyone's comments. Feel free to put it back in if you want me to speak to it. Iris said, I think that the business courses I took where they taught do one thing only made me stop creating. Oh, it went away. Yes, I was stuck in this space for a while. It feels like taking one part of you and dropping another part of you. I still am like that in ice cream stores. Good, G. Permission to not know ahead. Yes, exactly. I always have half scoop of one flavor and half a scoop of another flavor. I love that. That's awesome. I would try 6 samples of ice cream every single time, and my family would get mad at me. I didn't care. I kept doing it, and I would usually get chocolate chip. Oh, I love that. I love that, like, you would decide on, at the end of it, usually get the same thing, but you still allowed yourself to try it all. Relationship sampling. Whoa. As a 6'2", I feel a little lost, kind of waiting to come off the roof, hoping I feel less stalled once I hit my 3rd stage. I'm exactly that way at ice cream shops. 6'2s are interesting, right? With that 6 line, a lot changes with the 6 line. When you go from living in that 3rd line phase to the 6th line phase. So really paying attention. I'm a 6'2" as well. Really paying attention to what you're just kind of like don't have the energy for, what you're like, I don't even care, right? If you just do not care, if you have apathy, like if you're apathetic towards something, that's a good way to honor that 6th line, because that is the beauty that being on the roof gives you, is it kind of is like this innate knowing what is worth pursuing and using your energy on and what's not. I love getting the mix of the soft serve. I asked for at least 5 flavors at the ice cream shop. Y'all are so funny. I love this so much. I have a question, Kelsey. Wanted to hear your thoughts. I've heard from a couple HD practitioners that true Manny Gens have the 2034. I've never heard that. Because no, like you could be you absolutely would be a Manny Gen if you had, because you can have an indirect motor to throat connection as well, which means it's not going to be just one channel that connects your sacral. No, I don't agree with that at all. I might have to hear more context, but, and I'm not saying like they're wrong, but I don't agree with that at all. 2-4, a lot of inner stillness time. I do this with ice cream and groceries. Yeah, Davina said I have indirect. Yeah, I would be interested to hear more about that argument, but I think that is not true or fair to people that don't have the 2034. Yeah, interesting though. Okay. So this is something that I dive into deep in Spellbound with the Manny Gens in terms of their offers and stuff like that. But I just wanted to kind of present this idea to you because I think it can be really eye-opening with how to start creating your business model. And by that, I mean your offers, right? Like, how do you sell multiple things and have a brand that's successful, right? And cohesive, and it makes sense to people and it speaks to people. It's first of all, throwing out all of that crap that you're going to confuse people if you talk about food and fashion and fitness and dolphins. Like, you can talk about whatever you want. The thing with the Manny Gen is when you feel really excited about something, when you feel really lit up about something, that is when it's contagious. In my one-to-one calls that I do with people, or like group calls and stuff like that, or even these Facebook things, like when I put up the training for Manny Gens and all of y'all commented, I was so lit up by your excitement. So when you're excited about something as a Manny Gen, it is literally contagious. And so you guys have seen me do this before. I'll say something about someone's human design and I'll say, does that resonate with you? Because I want to hear if it's landing for them personally, and if they do, like if they feel seen by it. But when I'm on calls with Gens, I don't have to say that. I can feel it in my own body if what I said is exciting for a Gen. So if I say something like, "Oh, you have this channel," which probably means that your business blah blah blah, right? Like we'll do some kind of interpretation, and if they are lit up by that idea or that thought, I can feel that response in my body. I don't have to ask them as I would with like a projector or a generator. I don't have to say, "Does that resonate with you? Like, does that land?" I can feel it. So, that is something really to keep in mind is if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel confused, if you feel like you're drowning with all of these different decisions to make, really follow your bliss. You may have heard that before as a Gen, like with human design stuff. When you follow your bliss, meaning you feel manic, right? You feel so excited. You feel like you could burst because it's just so fun. Like you cannot believe how much fun this is or how excited you are. Like you feel like a Christmas tree just turned on. You feel so lit up. That is the magic there. It is contagious literally to other people. So when you're selling from that energy, when you are doing trainings from that energy, when you're sending emails from that energy, that is all you really need, to be completely honest. You can throw all the other stuff out the window. And I also want to add a little caveat here. If you're not feeling that, that's okay too. You're still human, right? Like you're not necessarily, I don't even know if you could function if you're always feeling like that, right? Like you do need that calmness and um that regulated nervous system for sure, but really listening to yourself. If you are pursuing a project in your business and it just feels blah and it feels dim, but there's something else that's calling to you, you can absolutely leave that other project unfinished and then go and pursue something else. You absolutely can. I will say that discipline and, you know, committing to things, setting personal goals for yourself to complete projects, complete offers, and all of that is really expansive for Gens, but doing it in a way where you do feel proud of yourself rather than forcing yourself, like finishing a project because you want to feel that satisfaction of completion versus for finishing a project because you hate your flakiness, right? You hate that quality about yourself that you never finish stuff. So coming from a place of honoring yourself versus like forcing yourself is a huge difference. But really, really, really paying attention to, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to explode. So just real quick, we're right at the hour, so I don't want to keep you too long, but I want to leave you with this analogy of how to basically design your offer suite. Like I said, I dive into this in Spellbound, but I'm going to give you a really high level overview of it. So, you as a Gen, what you are selling, the transformation that you are essentially taking your clients on is to a new version of themselves. So, they are their current selves, right? But they want to be this version of themselves where they have the money, they have the romance, they have the success, they have the career. And I know I'm naming very surface level things right now, but we're just using that as an example, right? But basically, they have all the things. They have like complete outfit, if you will. Like they start with you and they have no clothes, but by the end of it they're going to become a version of themselves that has the dress and the bag and the hair accessories and the earrings and the shoes, right? They have the whole ensemble. So think of your offer suite like a map to get to that final destination. So, for example, maybe you have a signature program, you channeled it one day, like it all came, you stayed up till 5 in the morning creating all the modules, right? Like it's done. It is your signature thing. It is a one-to-one package that you offer. It's really high ticket. It's really immersive. It's really transformative. That might be the super highway for your client to go from their current identity to that version of themselves that they're longing to be, or to get one of the maybe that's the outfit part, right, of this like ensemble. Maybe you also wrote a book one day. Maybe you were on vacation, you were at the beach, and you were relaxing, and then all of a sudden you got this huge urge and you wrote this book. So maybe that's like the scenic route, right? Someone could buy this, it's inexpensive, they can go through it on their own, right? You're not involved with it anymore because you wrote it, you published it, like it's out there. Maybe you self published it. They bought it, right? It takes them a while to read and to actually integrate the things, but this is more like the scenic route to get to that final destination. And then maybe you have a group program that you decided to launch. Like it was a last minute thing. You were like, you know what? Like I'm feeling disconnected from my audience. I want to have a group program. I want 5 women in it. So you create a sales page, you open the doors, and then you have a short launch, you close it, and then the group program is for like 3 weeks maybe. That's another road to get to that final destination. So every offer that you have, while they might be vastly different in different type of containers, different topics, different focuses, different methods, right? Different tools, different everything, because that's how you as a manager are designed to work. All of it is leading, like all paths lead to Rome kind of situation, right? Where it's all leading to this final version of who your client is longing to be. You are helping her get all of it. You are helping her take all of the different routes, whatever route looks good to her to get there. Does that make sense? Is that landing with y'all? Let me check the comments. This is often for me, not offer related though. Love my work, but that light up is not about the actual work, but other like things. Do you feel excited about your work? How do you choose what your offers are? Martini, you're so sweet. She said spellbound is chef's kiss. Thank you. Makes total sense. Yes. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so we did it. We kept it kind of within an hour. What questions do you guys have? Ask me anything. We can do a Q&A if you want to. Danelle said, haha, I have so many half-finished crafts knitting projects. And I bet you all of y'all's nightstands have like 6 open books on it, right? G said, yep, totally lands and makes sense. Thank you for all these gems. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Katie. Julia Anna said she's most excited during work. Good. I bet your clients can really feel that. Does anybody have any questions? If anything was confusing too, let me know and I can elaborate on it or give you more examples. Aw. Katie said, I feel so seen, books and crafts. Love it. And you guys have full permission to get a box of chocolate and just take a bite out of every single one of them. If I want to offer a course but not sure, should I try a freebie version? So yeah, we can look at this through that two-layer approach with that sacral response, right? So it would first be like looking at what the course is, maybe writing out a high-level overview of the modules. The freebie version is a great idea, right? Doing it like creating the plan, creating the vision for it. You don't have to get too zoomed in with it. It can be high level for sure, but seeing how your sacral responds to that and then putting it out there. I like the freebie idea. You could also do it. What I like to do for offers, if they are, you know, my intention with it, my vision is to have a course or to have it in a more like fancy container, doing it in this one-to-one format where you don't have to pre-record anything. You don't necessarily have to do a lot of pre-work for it. You just put it out there to see if it's a viable idea. That's a good way too. And then see how it feels. See if you like it. Maria said, I do books, audiobooks, ebooks, half finished. Yep. Katie said, how would you handle overwhelm or fear with starting something online to find out if it's not aligned? So that's what I was talking about with like finding that sweet spot for yourself. I saw someone say balance. Finding that sweet spot for yourself with like, what would happen if I didn't finish this? Would my business be okay? Do I have another offer that I can rely on? Or should I really put some containers around myself to where I finish this because I love myself, I love my business, and I know if I have a finished offer, it's going to be really, really beneficial for my business. Because, you know, when you're first starting your brand, you do need to have something to sell. And so once you get to a certain point though, like let's say you create a signature class and it's pre-recorded, you're selling it on Evergreen, meaning people can come to your website and buy it at any time. That's going to give you more wiggle room to then test out some different concepts that you have because you're still able to make sales. You're still able to get clients because you already have this complete offer. So that's really something to look at within yourself. But with the overwhelm, listening to your authority and really, 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 really rooting into like faith with your authority. So for example, this might look like your authority says, yes, this is a great course idea. Pursue it, create it, launch it, but then your brain starts to freak out. Well, what if it's wrong? What if no one wants it? What if we spend all this time and no one buys it? Blah, 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 right? When all of that starts to happen, which it will, that's when you root back into, wait, my authority said yes. I know for sure that this is the right choice for me, and I will continue to move forward and pursue it unless you feel that gut response where it's like, stop, do not take one more step in pursuing this. Does that make sense? So there is like, It is going to be very personal for each Manny Gen, but it's finding, um, assessing where you're at in your business right now. How vital is it for you to have an actual created offer? And then how much wiggle room do you have? And then also, what is your authority? How is it guiding you? What is good to work on between the big bursts of energies when I'm not as on? That's a great, great, great question. Really good question. So that would be developing some kind of system, some kind of plan that, or rhythm. I think rhythm's a good word for that. That feels good for you to show up and to be seen. Consistency is important for every single human design type, but it's not going to be the same for every single human design type. So, like I said, that's something that I see every human design type, and myself included, sometimes use our human design as an excuse to not do the things that feel hard or scary. So make sure as a Manny-Gen that you are honoring those bursts of energy, right? Those changing ideas, that flow that you experience, but don't use it as a way to shoot yourself in the foot and not show up. And that is something that your soul knows the difference between, right? Our brains are really sneaky and they're really good at keeping us in the cave, keeping us safe and not seen. So find like catching yourself, calling yourself out on it when you hear yourself like using your human design as an excuse as to why you can't move forward and evolve. But that's a great question. Also, too, like you might just need to rest. Manny Gens, just like what I was saying about generators, like you get tired. Burnout is real for you. You have a lot of energy, but you definitely need to rest. So resting might be part of it. But that's what I would advise, like, is really figuring out something that works for you in terms of creating content, showing up, giving value, being seen. It might not mean that you're creating content every day. Maybe you leverage those big bursts, those big waves that you get to like batch write a bunch of stuff or pre-record stuff and then you drip it out. Again, that's going to be so personal for each person, but that would be a good thing to look at, I think, in between the bursts as well as resting. But don't use it as an excuse if it's not truly like aligned for you to actually rest. Katie said, yes, I love that. I have excitement around when I'm building through Spellbound, and the method gives me confidence that it will be aligned when it's finished. And also too, as a manager, like y'all can accomplish so much. You can get so much done. I wasn't kidding. Like I literally get messages from my managing clients where they're like, I did this, 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 and this. I'm like, it's 7:15 in the morning. What are you talking about? Right? Like when you're excited about something, like it feels like it looks like poof and it's there. So you can create a lot, but it doesn't mean that you have to. So, what I mean by that is if you have an idea for a course, you don't have to put a bunch of pressure on yourself to record 10 modules before you can start telling the world about it, right? You can sell it before it's complete. You can dial it back and launch it in like a one-to-one container, like I was talking about. You can launch it as just one module. So, if it does feel overwhelming, because you have a lot on your to-do list, you can scale back your to-do list. Just because you can do a lot doesn't mean you necessarily have to do a lot. Try 20 books. I love that. Yes, I am in burnout now and doing steps to heal and transform that. And I have an open route. Yeah. The last 3 nights I haven't felt the energy, so I've let myself sit and read. Oh, I love that. That's a really good. I'm glad that you said that, Katie. So as Manny Gens, you guys exert a lot of energy. So if you are feeling depleted, really allowing yourself to be filled back up by reading or taking in, like if you're a first line, doing a class where there's no pressure on creating anything, you're just taking in the information, like basically refilling yourself could be an interesting way to be, right, and still move forward in your business in between those big bursts of energy. Yeah. But most importantly, too, is if you are currently taking action, remember with the buffet analogy with that octopus that was just so disgusting and you had to spit it out into your napkin? If you are working on any kind of offer like that or anything in your business that just feels disgusting, it feels repulsive, it feels so icky to you, that's a really, really good sign that that is not aligned for you anymore. You are meant to start and not finish things, but that's when you really do have to put on those big girl pants. And this is something we'll talk about in Magic Fest with the Queen. She's really good for self-discipline when it's actually important and it's actually necessary. So finding that balance between like, this is so gross, I'm going to spit it out. I'm going to give myself like, I'm going to fully allow myself to not complete this because I hate it versus like, I don't want to do this. It's hard. I'm scared. Like, I don't want to work right now. Oh, I'm just going to watch some TV, right? Like that whole thing. You know the difference between it. Ira said, yes, the class for my first line sounds perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Well, this was very fun. Thank you all so much for being here. I will leave the replay up in the group forever. And then also, if anyone is coming on and didn't see the link, register for Magic Fest. We're going to have so much fun. That is in about 3 weeks. It's a free masterclass. It's multiple days. You'll get the whole calendar when you sign up. But day one is going to be on the 17th, which is a Wednesday. We are, in case you missed my opening, Magic Fest is not about brand strategy stuff. It's not about business stuff. It is about you as an entrepreneur. If you don't resonate with that word entrepreneur, then Magic Fest is perfect for you. It's about really awakening the identity of an entrepreneur, seeing yourself as a business owner. And that's where it all starts. If you don't have that identity awakened within you, if you don't see yourself as a business owner, all of the brand strategy stuff, all the business strategy stuff, all of it is not going to have the effect that you want it to have. You first have to recognize yourself and identify as a capable, powerful, magical business owner. And of course, we're going to do this in a magical way, in a very fun way, a very summer, sparkly, like pink vibe way with some of my favorite archetypes. So this is different than brand archetypes. This is about your identity as a business owner. But it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited for it. It feels like it can't come soon enough. I've had the email drafted and ready to send to y'all for like 3 weeks now, and I'm so excited that it's out in the world. But yeah, yay! I'm so excited that y'all will be there. Yep, capable, magical business owner. That's right. And so we're going to study the enchantress, the mermaid, the queen, and the goddess, and learn how to work with those identities within ourselves and what their different superpowers are, what they bring to the table, and how we can basically learn to use them as tools in our business to create the success that we want, to create the impact that we want, to have the experience in our business that we want, right? To get over hurdles, to get over plateaus, to get through burnout, to reawaken that excitement. All of those four archetypes they're perfect. They're like our magical toolkit for all of this. So, anywho, you're all of them. This isn't the brand archetype stuff. So it's not like you have one. This is us learning how to use all four of them in our business in our identity as a spiritual business owner. So I'll go into all of that in Magic Fest and talk about it. You will have some human design reports to help you get more personal information into all four, but it's not like you're going to find out, oh, you're the goddess. You're going to learn how to activate the goddess and activate the queen and activate the mermaid and the enchantress, and how to use them differently and what they do and what they create and what they're here for, and also the low expressions, like what to look out for with them and that kind of thing. So yeah, get to be all. That's right. Awesome. Okay, well, you guys are amazing. As you can see, I don't want to get off the call because your energy is contagious. But I'm so glad that this was helpful. If you have any breakthroughs, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're watching the replay, let me know your takeaways. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.